Let's go ahead and get started with a look at the forecast, guys. Hey, Doppler radar showing a few pockets of light rain here and there. There's some cloud cover out east, but Albuquerque, I'm not seeing anything but sunshine to start our day and a gorgeous shot with even a little bit of those clouds out in Cloudcroft. That is how you start a Tuesday. So good morning for those of you down there to the south. Temperature's not bad either. 50s, 60s, and 70s out across the Sacramentos. We do have more of the 40s and 50s out over the northern portions of the state, but you'll find 60s and 70s down that I-25 corridor. Big day for us here in New Mexico. Albuquerque, your primary day forecast, puts us in the upper 80s to low 90s this afternoon. So if you are going to be headed out to the pools, maybe grab a bottle of water just in case there's a line, because it's going to be hot outside. It's not just here in Albuquerque, it's everywhere, especially the further to the south and southwest you go. You'll find some of those 90s and triple digits. We have 80s over the mountain areas. Eastern Plains, you guys are also starting to warm up in the 80s and 90s. Still have a shot at some storms today, but same kind of pattern as what we had yesterday with just spotty storms and showers. And I wanted to kind of break this down for you because we're in a transition period, a little wacky here. Not necessarily looking at these large-scale storms moving in from the west. There's a couple in there, but it's not one after the other. We're a little too early for that monsoon setup as well. It's just not happening quite yet. That usually kicks in later July. As far as what we're dealing with now, little pieces of energy, little storms moving in from the west, pulling in moisture as they move closer to us. So we got a good amount ahead on top of us, really, and it's that daytime heating that triggers the lift to get those storms to fire. A little bit harder to predict because really these could go up anywhere. They're favored for the north and northeast today, but even here in Albuquerque, like yesterday, we had some of those storms push through and we got a little bit of rain, more so winds than rain, but we'll take what we can get at this point. So again, this is what we're looking at today. Not a large scale system, but a little bit of moisture, a little bit of heat. We got some spot showers up to the north and northeast. Some of those could be strong to severe. Similar tomorrow, not quite as many storms, but because of a storm moving in from the west for the later half of the work week, pulling in moisture ahead of it, better coverage of the showers and storms Thursday and more so Friday and Saturday. The two most active days of the next 7 will be Friday and Saturday afternoon. Hey, southern Colorado looking at sunshine today with 84 Pagosa Springs, Durango at 86. We'll continue with the 80s and perhaps a better shot at some rain by this weekend. As we get into the northwest, sunny shine overhead. Hot temps beneath, 89 in Gallup, but Farmington, 94 today, 80s up in Dulce and Cuba. Southwest, good amount of sunshine to start today. A little bit more cloud cover to end this afternoon, but it won't hurt the warm up. Likely to hit the century mark in Lordsburg, Deming, and Las Cruces. As we get into the southeast, Sacramento Mountains, once again favored for some spot storms. Some of those storms could roll off into the lower elevations. We're talking 90s over the plains, northeastern plains. I would say 80s and some 90s a little bit further to the south, but more of those storms expected in your area today. Like I said, some of those could be severe. Northern mountains, spotty to scattered storms. High temps in the 70s and 80s, very similar to what you dealt with yesterday. East mountains, mix of sun and clouds with an isolated storm possible. High temps in the 80s and 90s. Hey, Metro, you're looking at a mostly sunny sky today. High temps in the low to mid 90s. We'll continue with those 90s for the next several days, but notice that 7-day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we have better chances for showers and storms. So that's going to be our big focus over the next few afternoons. But once again, that severe threat still there. We'll have updates, and you can also use the weather app to keep an eye on these storms, and it'll let you know if that storm is severe.
The one day with 80s, and it's just below the 90 mark. So that's okay, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
Not much of a cool off, but again, it makes a difference in the 7-day, you know?
It does. Even a few degrees makes a difference.
You'll be outside and you're like, yeah, 89.
Thanks, Kristen. Let's get a look at